To solve any question that has to do with a chemical reaction, the first step is to write out the chemical equation involved in the reaction. So let's do that. We have tin 4 oxide reacting with carbon to yield tin and carbon monoxide. Let's see if it is a balanced chemical equation. 1 atom of tin on both sides, 2 atoms of oxygen present in the reactant, and in the product side same thing, and for carbon we have 2 as well. So we have a balanced chemical equation. What's the next step? The next step now is to calculate the reacting mass of each of the compound that took part in the reaction, that is tin oxide and that of carbon. So to calculate reacting mass, just like the general formula that we know, which is mass equals number of moles multiplied by the molar mass. So in this case, the number of moles will be the coefficient of the compound or the substance based on the equation written above, and that is the reason we need to write a balanced chemical equation so we won't have mistake in our values. The molar mass would be gotten from the sum of the atomic mass of the elements present in the compound. So let's proceed. Molar mass of tin oxide first. Atomic mass of tin is 119, plus we have 2 atoms of oxygen present, that's 2 multiplied by 16. So we have 119 plus 32, and this gives 151, our unit grams per mole. Reacting mass now equals the number of moles based on the equation here. Here the coefficient is 1, so we will be writing 1 multiplied by 151, and that is 151. Our unit is grams. That's for tin oxide. So let's proceed to solve for carbon. The atomic mass of carbon is known to be 12. There's no need in calculating that. Let's just proceed to determine the reacting mass of carbon. So we have 2 multiplied by the atomic mass. Atomic mass of carbon is 12. Multiplying this, we have 24, and our unit grams. So from here now we can say that based on the equation above, we can say that 151 grams of tin oxide react with 24 grams of carbon. Coming back to the question, if we have 0.302 kilogram of pure tin oxide, what is the mass of carbon that will be required for the reaction to occur? Another thing is to note that the mass of pure tin is in kilograms, so we'll first convert that to gram, then proceed to determine the mass of carbon in the reaction. So say mass of tin oxide 0.302 kilogram. Converting this, (151 grams of tin oxide will require 24 grams of carbon. So if we have 302 grams of tin oxide, X grams of carbon will be required. We are using X because we do not know the amount, and that's what we're looking for. So from here we cross multiply indirectly and make X the subject. Hence we have X to be equal to 302 multiplied by 24 divided by 151. So if 302 grams of tin oxide is made available, then 48 grams of carbon will be required to react in the reaction. Now that we've gotten the mass of carbon present in the coke that took part in the reaction, let's come back to see what exactly we are asked to do in the question. It said we should determine the mass of coke containing 80% of carbon. That means the coke contains 80% of carbon, and now we've determined the mass of carbon present to be 48 grams. So what is the mass of the coke? To do this, we'll be making the mass of the coke to be an unknown X. So from there, we'll represent the value for carbon, and we'll be able to determine the mass of the coke, X. So let's proceed. So I'll be stating that let the mass of the coke 80 divided by 100 multiplied by the mass of the coke, and we've gotten it to be 48 grams. That is the mass of carbon present in the coke. So here, let's solve for X. We have 80X divided by 100 equals 48 grams. So X equals 100 multiplied by 48 divided by 80. So this gives us 60 and the unit in grams. So we can leave our answer to be 60 grams and we can convert it back to kilograms. So if we'll be converting this to kilogram, we'll be dividing by 1000. So 60 grams is also equivalent to 0.06 kilogram, and that will be the final answer. We've just come to the end of the solution to the question, and we've gotten the mass of the cork containing 80% of carbon to be 0.06 kilogram, and that will be all. Do try to subscribe for more if you find this video helpful.